Namaste. My soul bows to your soul. And welcome to Yoga Today. And our subject today is the awakening heart, based on a beautiful book by Thich Nhat Hanh, the Buddhist monk who was just such a blessing on the planet. And so he's from the Buddhist tradition, and so that's where this comes from. And in Buddhism, they say there are 4 aspects to love. So, wonderful thing to be talking about. And the first is Maitri, and that's spelled Maitri. And it means loving kindness. And he says it's about not just manifesting the desire to be loving and kind, but the ability to make somebody happy, to bring joy to a beloved person in your life. And I think that so often we're so preoccupied with our own lives that we don't realize that one of the main reasons that we are here is to awaken the heart, and that involves learning to live in this beautiful quality of loving kindness. And he says, it's not necessarily easy, and we don't often pick to spend time doing it, but he said we need training in order to be able to do this. What would you think would be a way to develop loving kindness? And he says one of the best things to do is to develop deep looking at somebody, directing your attention towards somebody, paying attention, because what you want to do is to understand that person. How are you going to be able to, as I say, it's not just have loving kindness, but be able to make a change in that person's life? That requires us to really understand that person. And when you think about the people in your life, those dearest to you, how well do you really know them? You can't love somebody fully if you don't understand them. What's a husband going to do to help his wife if he does not know the deepest sufferings or aspirations of her heart? What's troubling her? What does she aspire to? And understanding takes time. A conversation where you listen, not just with your ears, but with your heart. To look deeply in, to be able to gain this understanding over time. And these are qualities that are so important on the spiritual path. It's one of those things that if you have the privilege of being with a great soul, is that they pay incredible attention to the people around them. So we too get to do that. And by practicing that, we begin to embody these qualities. So the first, Maitri, loving kindness. The second is karuna, compassion. And again, it's not just the desire to live a compassionate life, it's to actually have the ability to ease someone else's pain, while we have this deep looking, this understanding of the nature of their suffering, to be able to help them to change. And he says the practice of understanding is the practice of meditation, looking deep into the heart of things. And when we meditate, we're looking deep into our own heart, looking deeply into spirit. And when in the outside world, looking deeply into those around us. And the third one is mudita, joy. Any love that doesn't contain joy is not true love. It's one of the qualities of love, is this unalloyed joy. Nothing is marring it in any way. This joy that's free to express through you. Number 4 is upeksha, equanimity or freedom. Who would have thought that those two things go together? That really, when you experience true love, then you are free. And this true love comes from being in balance as a person. So when you look at the person that you love, do they feel free? Are they free inside and outside? And so, in a way, as we look at them, just asking yourself or asking them, not maybe outside, but from your heart. And this is from Thich Nhat Hanh. Dear one, do you have enough space in your heart and all around you? Let's just take a minute and see what's your answer to that. Ask it of yourself. Dear one, do you have enough space in your heart and all around you? Jai. So really in the Buddhist tradition, this love, this awakening of the heart, love is about being there. It's not easy, it's an art to be there for another human being. The art of meditation, bringing your true self. The more we meditate well, the more we contact our true self. Can you bring this true self to the here and now? Do you have the time to love? It takes time and effort. This beautiful story, yogis love stories. And it was a man who was very wealthy. This rich man, he could buy pretty much anything he wanted. And it was his son's 12th birthday. And he said to his son, what would you like for a present? You can have pretty much anything you want. What is it you want? But the boy only wanted one thing. He wanted his father's presence in his life. You know, people who are very wealthy very often are very busy. A lot of times they're taking care and multiplying their wealth. And Thich Nhat Hanh says, if this father could only understand about true love, he would do anything to find the time for his son and wife. And this is so powerful, the most precious gift to give anyone you love is your true presence. So it's not just sharing the same room as them, while you watch television together. It's being with them, being present in that moment, looking at them and seeing them, growing in understanding of them, so that you can be there for them even more clearly. And so this is really how are we going to, we're talking about practicing this. So we've already talked about this idea about looking deeply. And we're going to talk more about listening and things later, but in the next few weeks. But just looking at somebody from your soul as best you can. And the next one, if you're going to give somebody the gift of your presence, you need to be present. And one of the most simple and reliable ways of being present is by mindful breathing. So we'll do that together for a few minutes. So making sure that you're sitting comfortably, spine straight, relax your shoulders, let them drop. And just closing your eyes. And taking a couple of deep breaths. Long exhalation. The breathing, helping the body to acknowledge that you're safe in this moment. You can relax. And then as we breathe in and then breathe out, we're just going to say, breathing in, I know I'm breathing in. And breathing out, I know that I'm breathing out. And we're just going to do this for the next 5 minutes. Jai. Victory to your soul. And just bringing your attention back. You know, usually our body and our mind are never working together. You know, the body's doing one thing, the mind's thinking about something else. That's the most common state of our consciousness for most people. So mindful breathing is a wonderful way of getting the body and the mind to work together. And it's something that anyone can do. You know, you want to focus on what you're doing, pay attention to the words as you're breathing in and out. Eventually you'll find the words tend to just drop away, but you still have that sense that breathing in, I know I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I know I'm breathing out. The words may even fall away, but that's fine. You'll still have that sense of the body and mind working together. And Thich Nhat Hanh says even small children can learn to do this. Bring the body and mind together in this present moment. You've probably heard of mantras. Some of you may have one. This is a beautiful profound words, these syllables that rescue the mind. And they contain profound truths, especially as they're said with concentration and devotion. And when we do that well, it allows us to experience the truth of the mantra, the true meaning of it. So anything that you say in a state of union, of body, mind, and moving into spirit, that becomes a mantra. And so Thich Nhat Hanh has English mantras to go with each of these 4 aspects of love. So he says the first one that he would recommend, and we're talking about here loving kindness, manifesting not just the desire but the ability to make someone happy. And so this is what he recommends: to chant, "Dear one, I am here for you." So let's just do it for a moment or two together, just inhaling. And we're going to go back to breathing mindfully. Breathing in, I know that I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I know I'm breathing out. Breathing in, I know I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I know I'm breathing out. We'll just do that for a minute or so. Now just call to mind a loved one. Invite them to come stand before you, before your mind's eye. And just looking into their eyes, say, "Dear one, I am really here for you." And just keep that going in your mind as you gaze at them. "Dear one, I am really here for you." And the next time you finish the chant, just inhaling And a long exhalation. And opening your eyes. So Thich Nhat Hanh says, practice this. And when you feel like you're at the point where you can truly say those words, you may want to do it in person. So here you've learned to really look at that person, understand them better. Even when you're just chanting to your image of them in your mind's eye, you may get insights as to how you could help them be more happy, or help them to let go of suffering, experience more joy, have freedom and space in their life. So don't be fooled into thinking this is very simple. It may be simple, but it's also very profound. And so he said, again, when you're comfortable with it, ask yourself prayerfully, ask God prayerfully, is this the time to say it to them? If it's not, keep working until it is. And he says, make time in your life for love. Very often we get up in the morning and we run out of the house. Sometimes we have breakfast, and if it's a busy household, somebody's eating breakfast, somebody's reading the newspaper, people are on their phones. Make time. Put the phone down, put the newspaper down. Don't be in a rush. Really look at the person that you love. If we're not careful, we get back in the evening and we're too tired. We don't have time in the morning, we're too tired in the evening. And then we think that we love this person and we're living a life together, till we find we're not. We're living separate, lonely lives. Where's the joy in that? So bring about a revolution in your own life, in your way of living, your everyday life. Your happiness, your joy, your life is within you. It's not what you're doing in the outside world, it's what you're doing in the inside world that makes all the difference. So may we have the courage to carve out a wonderful life, to cooperate, support, put energy and effort into the awakening of your heart, so that those around, those you love, those who are part of your daily life, these are the people that we learn, that we can practice our learning on. Learning to know them, to understand them, and to love them. Namaste. May you have a wonderful week.